People are saying you married your brother for citizenship purposes, but are you in love with your brother, Congresswoman? I mean, do you guys sleep with each other? Is this normal in Somalia? Does he get butt naked and yell, "I'm decapitated now, sister"? Or what's the deal over there? You got some kind of stepbrother fetish, Congresswoman? And when you guys get naked and have sex, do you leave your headscarf on or do you take it off?
Ilhan Omar is a disgrace to this country. It's not just me saying it.
Congresswoman Omar is an America-hating socialist. She minimized the September 11th attack on our homeland, where far more than 3,000 people died, saying some people did something. Big deal. Some people did something. She pleaded for compassion for ISIS recruits right here in Minnesota. Omar laughed that Americans speak of Al-Qaeda.
It's finally over for her. Let's look at some of the damn things she says.
These people are just idiots. I really, I'm at the point where it's become really hard to have an intellectual debate with any of these people because the level of stupidity that they are displaying every single day is frankly embarrassing, not just in Congress, but as Americans. And the fact that these people are allowed to say just the most ridiculous things tells you that the dumbing of the United States has arrived, because how else do we get a Trump presidency again?
Did she just call American dumb? What?
This is a very low IQ person. And I look at somebody that comes from Somalia where they don't have anything. They don't have police. They don't have military. They don't have anything. All they have is crime. And she comes in and tells us how to run our country. The Constitution says this, the Constitution. The whole thing is crazy.
It is crazy, absolutely crazy.
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. We should be profiling, monitoring, and creating policies to fight the radicalization of white men.
Oh my gosh, how can you say something like this? This is absolutely racist.
I don't know about you, but can we cancel Ilhan Omar? I mean, it's clear she cannot stand this country. Every day, she's releasing a statement bashing the United States of America, the very country that saved her family from refugee camps. In a recent interview, Ilhan Omar bashed the United States and the Trump administration after he deployed National Guard into Los Angeles during the protests/riots that was going on against ICE raids. While being interviewed, Rep. Omar had this to say, quote, "I grew up in a dictatorship, and I don't ever remember witnessing anything like that. To have a democracy, a beacon of hope for the world, to now be turned into one of the worst countries where the military are in our streets without any regards for people's constitutional rights," end quote. Ms. Omar was referring to the military presence in Los Angeles to combat looters and violent protesters who was harming ICE agents and destroying federal property. But it's no surprise that she's constantly bashing the very country that gave her opportunity. I mean, here's a woman who fled Somalia, a failed state ravaged by poverty, civil war, and corruption, came to the U.S. as a refugee, given housing, free education, opportunity, freedom, things her family couldn't find in Somalia. Thanks to the American dream, she became an American citizen in 2000. Years later, she was elected to Congress as one of the first Muslim females in the House. I don't know. It sounds like she should be thankful to the American dream because she has plenty to be thankful for. But instead, she bashes the very country that gave her opportunity and saved the lives of her and her family.
Looks like Ilhan Omar has lost her mind. Why is she so ungrateful?
This is going to be a hot take, and since nobody wants to say this out loud because nobody wants to get canceled, I'll go ahead and break the ice. I think that in order to hold high-level state positions or seats in Congress, you should be a natural-born citizen. Because, I mean, think about it. Look at people like Zohran Mamdani, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib. Whether it's Congress or high-level state office, we keep seeing the same exact patterns. One, they advocate for policies that directly benefit their own countries of origin, not America. Two, you always hear them talking about remaking America into the country that they left. Sorry to say this, but it's true. It's usually not a great country. Three, they almost always prioritize identity politics over American unity. Instead of focusing on policies that lift up all Americans, no matter their skin color, their race, or gender, they use those identities to push divisive agendas. And lastly, they posture on global issues instead of focusing on their constituents and their districts. The Founding Fathers made sure that the president had to be a natural-born citizen because they didn't want anyone in power with split loyalties to other countries. They were also worried about foreign governments gaining influence through leaders who weren't truly invested in America. And it makes sense for the presidency, but that same logic should be applied to those who want to hold high state-level positions or seats in Congress, especially for members of Congress. I mean, they write our laws, they decide on foreign aid. There's a lot of room for outside influence here. The patterns are all the exact same. We need to get the people out of Congress and out of high state-level positions that don't love our country.
I don't know about you guys, but that sounds like a lot of common sense to me.
There are moments in politics when something happens and most people only catch the headline. What just happened in Minnesota is one of those moments. Because while many Americans saw a headline about Trump ending a program for Somali immigrants, very few understood why he did it, how it connects to Ilhan Omar's district, and what kind of investigation triggered it behind the scenes. This isn't a small administrative adjustment. This is a decisive move aimed at dismantling a network that federal investigators say has been draining taxpayer funds, rerouting money overseas, and destabilizing an entire region of the state. Trump just shut down a program affecting hundreds of people tied to a fraud network with somewhere between 250 and 300 million. And somehow all of it circles back to Minneapolis and a political figure whose district is now under more scrutiny than at any time in recent memory.
God bless President Trump. The fraud needs to stop now.
So there's this basically huge fraud scheme that's unraveling in Minnesota. So it turns out that Minnesota has this program called the Housing Stabilization Services Program. And of course, Minnesota is home to this guy, Tim Walz, which of course puts the whole story on Donald Trump's radar. So now we have this breaking news that Trump is terminating the temporary protected status for Somalis in Minnesota. So the backstory here is that Minnesota went on a mission to create their own huge welfare system, and they did. And they basically kept expanding their own state-level House and Human Services Department.
What?
And for a state, honestly, it's pretty big. It grew from $15 billion in 2022 to $23 billion in this next fiscal year. And
Wow.
Basically 42% of all new spending goes to this welfare system that they're setting up. And most of it goes to this Housing Stabilization Services Program, which became this whole snowball of fraud, which got even more attention because it turns out a lot of the money ended up in the hands of Al-Shabaab.
This is crazy.
Which is a group that we are currently fighting against in Somalia. And the thing with this HSS program is that they designed it in Minnesota as an honor system, which I gather means that you could basically go and spend the money first and then get reimbursed by the state. And the logic here was that if you needed housing, then you should basically be able to go and just pay for it without getting approval of anything and then charge it back.
This is absolutely nuts. They are supporting terrorists with taxpayers' money. Crazy.
People like Ilhan Omar marry their brother because they want to come to America so badly. Yet the second they step foot on American soil, the only thing out of their mouth isn't support for the nation that gave them freedom and refuge. It's death to America. It's burning our flags and it's trying to bring the same policies from your homeland into America that corrupted your home so bad that you fled it. I mean, people build rafts out of garbage to flee communist and socialist countries. Find me one person that fled a communist or socialist country, came to the free United States of America and wanted to go back. Why would we bring those policies here? Why would we support those policies here? The only thing out of your mouth should be thank you and God bless the USA. I don't understand this idea. It's kind of like New York. Imagine New Yorkers fleeing the communism in New York City, going down to Florida and trying to tell Ron DeSantis how to run his show. No, obviously he's pretty darn good job running it with freedom. Supporting freedom in this nation is the only thing that these refugees should bring to this country. I don't understand this idea of normalizing bringing people into America that genuinely hate America.
This makes no sense at all. And Ron DeSantis is doing a fantastic job in Florida. He probably has a chance in 2028, in my opinion.
Congresswoman's daughter has been collecting reparations from her friends for like 6 years. Ilhan Omar's daughter, her name is Isra Hirsi, she's a senior at Barnard College. Isra has received dozens of Venmos on Juneteenth over the past 6 years, captions reading, "Reparations" and "Happy Juneteenth." The majority of these payments were made on Juneteenth in 2020, obviously when all the George Floyd riots were going down. At first I thought this was a joke because I send my friends stupid caption with Venmos too. Like this had to be a joke. It's not. This woman who is privileged in every sense of the word. Mom's a congresswoman, getting Teen Vogue interviews, getting arrested and suspended and having no repercussion. This person is collecting reparations from her white friends. It's gold.
This is absolutely nuts. What is going on? Reparation should not be a thing at all.
So I've been thinking a lot about governance, national loyalty, and what it actually means to preserve America's value, America's culture. And here's my take, and yes, it's probably going to upset some of you. I don't think anybody who wasn't born here should be able to hold any type of governing office. Not Congress, not state legislators, not even local positions like a school board administrator. Because government at any level is not just administrative. It's cultural stewardship and it's shaping the identity and direction of the nation. If you were not raised in the culture you're governing, you may not fully understand it. You may not fully align with it, and you might not have that generational loyalty that should be required to protect it.
Bless this young lady right there. So young and already so smart. We need more young people like her. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and click right there to watch the next one. Bye bye.